All right. So we start the recording and first want to introduce Anna because Anna has been very faithful in attending these events until when she has some difficulty, she'll drop off a little bit, but she's almost always here and she has something compelling because she's been trying to help a lot of people with this, and a lot of people glass over it, thinking, yeah, we'll just go to the doctor and get help. But I know she has a passion for helping people, and I believe that once you listen to what she has to say, you will know exactly what I mean. But Anna, that's all I'm going to say. Take it away.
Thank you. Well, good morning. I'm just gonna start with playing a video for you. Let's hear it and then we'll continue. About the redox signaling molecules, I went on Google Scholar. It was 7.5 years ago, and I wanted to know what is it. So at that time, I find it was over 750,000 articles. Well, today it's 2,660,000. I wanted also to find out about cancer because I wanted to know what killed my husband 21 years ago, being sick only for a month and a half. And it was over 500,000. Now today about cancer, it's like over 1.5 million. You can also check PubMed. And in PubMed, as you can see, it's right now 43,000. But if you look at the chart, you will see that in 1953, up to 2019, no information was really found about that. It meant as a bad like it's waste of product. But in 2019, they did the Nobel Prize was given to three scientists, medical, who realized the importance of the redox signaling molecules. So do your own research, go on Google Scholar, type redox signaling molecules, and any conditions that you really wanted to see, you will see amazing results. Well, we have challenges in our life. From the minute we are conceived in a woman's body, cells started to multiply. And it's because it's growth of tissues, like organs, everything is growing. Until we reach puberty, we're producing 100% of these molecules. So it determines by the age, depending what age you are reaching the puberty, how tall we are. Well, every 10 years, we reduce by 10%. So the difference between the baby and the older woman, it's huge because the baby will bounce back much faster than the older woman. Cells are everywhere, everywhere in our body. Hair, organs. But I decided I'll give you a little bit of stats. Messages from the human brain travel among the nerves to 323 kilometers an hour. Anytime when we take a step, it's 200 muscles are working. Adult human blood circulates 19,000 kilometers. And I have something to prove for you. I have done blood analysis under the microscope. On the right, it's a light blue. This is my test results being on a product only for half a year. Well, 20 minutes after I took the product, you can see under the microscope the little tiny molecules just floating into the body. Well, we also have oxidative stress. And it's pertaining to everything: stress, sunburn, poor diet, medication. As you can see, if you bite the apple or you cut the apple and leave it outside, that it changes in color. It's exactly the same thing what's going on inside of our body. This is something new. In February, we receive a new product. It's called Redox Gold. It actually have 24 karat gold. But the amazing results are, if you check tomography, results in tomography, you will be able to see that when the first takes the test, its body is in flame and it's in red. But if you apply the product within 15 minutes, the picture changes. And I had a muscle spasm that it was reduced within 3 minutes and did not come back. We also have different health issues that the people experiencing and how far they are healing. But this is not because of redox. It's because the body gets extra help. This man I had met in November of 2017, he had a rare blood disease. He was given 20% chance of survival within 2 years. Well, this is him and me in 2023, and this is him in 2024 in December. And this information I was given to a friend of ours who unfortunately took another route and did not take an option of using the tools. Another woman, she was taking PET scan. This is her results. But let's go on a better subject. It helped me with my vision. And I have done my vision results, and it has not changed since 2020. Just done it in November. Well, teeth are health, and you can see that they can change as well, because when we use a product, we're keeping it in the mouth, and by squishing it, it helps the cells, gums, and it also helps the teeth. Well, some of people have medications in the medical cabinet. Well, for the last 8.5 years, I have not used any of them. I use Amazing Renew 28 to apply it topically, and it really sees the results. Oops, I'm just gonna go back. By applying it, by applying Renew anywhere in your body when you're in pain 3 times in 5 minutes, believe you me, you will see the results. Well, and it's just some great information. This is a baby. He will heal fast by itself because he's young. But with Amazing Renew 28, this is the change in a day and a half. We also had this kind of changes, and this is all recorded, and we'll see the results. This man had fell down the stairs. This is his results, all showing with the pictures. Well, what do you really have to lose by just looking and do research on this product? Not hair, because the hair will start growing. And this is the information. Thank you. I hope you find the good information, and I hope it will be useful to you. David, you're
Very
muted.
good, very good, very
Unless
good.
you wanted to tell me that I flanked.
No, very good job, I think. Jeff, I believe you're throwing some ideas or questions in the chat. Do you want to come up and talk about those? Unmute yourself. Yeah, there you go.
See, is Redox actually reversing our age?
Well, we are rejuvenating the cells. So just imagine you have a grape full of juice, and in time the juice will just kind of disappear. Well, what the redox is doing through the protein of the cells, they are such a tiny, tiny molecules. They have ability to go through the protein of the cell and just refill it or rejuvenate it. So it can kill, it can restore, it can rejuvenate, or it kind of replaces.
Right.
So if you have new cells, you have new life.
Right.
At least that's what I had experienced for the last 7.5 years. No more medications. I have done tomography on my breast, I have done different kind of tests, and I'm amazed that I look and feel younger without any kind of medication.
Right. So that's the bottom line. But I think Swami will answer your question directly about aging. But you could look at this as something that prevent you from aging as well, because like she's saying, you get more juicy instead of dried up and shrivel up like a prune. So you certainly could look at it as anti-aging as well.
Yes, we see it rejuvenation. But what I wanted to tell you, everything, whatever we have to do to keep ourselves healthy, rejuvenates the cells. If we do exercises, if we eat properly, if we drink a lot of water, it's also help us to keep us younger. But this one, it's like a boost. What our body, as we are getting colder, we cannot produce inside of our body.
And I must ask you this though, a lot of people have are diabetic in with insulin issues and stuff like that. So does it address that as well?
Look, it's disease, it's a cell disease
Hmm.
because it's everywhere. If we are experiencing vision problem, why? Because the cells in our eyes are not working well. They're not healthy. So you just look at it as a tool. And I think, I'm not sure if you guys heard about it, but the ingredients, it's actually salt and water. It has absolutely nothing other than salt and water. And inside of our cell, our body, we have like, if the tears are they salt and water? Everything in our body are salt and water. If you don't have enough salt, our body will suffer.
Right. Maureen, I think you're gonna ask a question, so I'll let you go.
Yeah. I think you answered. I just wondering what was in the product. I think you just said it was just water and C.
You
Yeah.
have to explain that a little more because it's not just salt and water. It's got to
Well,
be
absolutely.
something else.
Absolutely. No, it's actually when we go to emergency room and we go there with any kind of conditions. It can be high blood pressure, it can be any kind of disbalancing in the body. What does they give you? They give you saline to bring your electrolytes up, right?
Mhm.
So the base is actually saline, but it goes through the 3-day process. When the liquid, it's actually broke into tiny, tiny, tiny molecules. So imagine you have a jar with water and you shake, 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 shake. What do you have? You have bubbles, right?
Yeah.
And then these bubbles will come down and it becomes liquid. So what they were able, our scientist, what he was able to do, he was able to stabilize the liquid into the molecules and keep it right here in this little pouch or in the bottle. And when you actually spray yourself, if you put it in your eyes, you have absolutely no pain or discomfort because you put what inside of your body.
Okay.
And that's what helped me to improve my vision.
Right. So more of what you have.
Yes, it's kind of so for example, when I was young, I had that many molecules that has been produced by my body. Every 10 years, it will be less. Every 10 years, it will be less. And so on until it reach my age. So if I'm taking this one, I'm kind of bringing the level up so that if I take this much, that many molecules are going into my body through the day and it start to fix abnormal cells because they will not touch the healthy cells. They don't need any help. The only help it would be when the cell is not healthy.
Awesome. Good,
So
good.
what ingredients is in this product?
It's demineralized water and sodium chloride. That's it. It's right here. Absolutely nothing. So which is a saline
So
solution.
basically it has gone through a process to
It
make it.
just, yes, it goes through the process of changing the structure from the liquid to a tiny, tiny, tiny molecules. So I'm actually drinking the tiny molecules that are, the minute I put it in my body, it goes and look for abnormal cells. That's it. Very simple. You can use it anywhere. You can spray your face, for example, or your body. You put it in your eyes. You put it in your ears. This is salt water. When you swim in the ocean and the water goes into your ears, if it's not dried properly, you can get an infection because it does not go inside of your skin. This one does. So when I spray my face with it or put it in my eyes, it's actually look for abnormal cells. And it's really what it is.
Very good. And Marina, I know you're leaving, so I want you to get some of Swami's as well. And then we'll open out for question and Swami's product and open out for questions for general question for both Ann and Swami. But at this moment, let's introduce Swami. So I met Swami through Collet, right?
Yeah.
I'd introduced us, and he's the one that's going to talk about reduce your age. So I thought maybe if I could get mine to 25, that would get rid of a lot of the pain and issues that we encounter at a later age. So I'm not going to take away his bubbles, so I'm just going to leave Swami to explain how all that works for us so we can take notes and maybe get better. Swami, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Dave. I'm going to share my screen. And here we go. And so thank you. Today I will be talking about light technologies, our health and age reversal, which may sound like something futuristic, but I'm happy to say that it is available for us today. And just want to say that how I help others win is by helping them understand light therapy and grow young again. Just very quickly about me, I've been in this field for over 50 years, holistic health field. I taught meditation in the 70s. I pioneered the Ayurvedic medicine from India in the 80s. That's a natural form of medicine. I wrote a #1 bestseller on the subject. I presented it to the White House Alternative Medicine Commission and some medical universities. And on the speaking side, I got a Distinguished Toastmaster Award, which is the highest level of Toastmasters. And now I'm introducing light technology. So we all want, as I see it, four basic things in life. The first is we want some sort of spiritual connection to go deeper. And spiritual is however you're going to define it. So if whether it's God or universe or something greater than ourselves. When we have a connection with something greater than ourselves, we feel connected. We're growing. We always have more depth to it. And when we're connected spiritually, we love ourselves more because spiritual is pure love. We love ourselves more. Our relationships become more rewarding. We choose careers that we love. And as the saying goes, when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And when you're out of all that kind of stress, then your health is automatically going to improve. On the personal side, as an entrepreneur, as a retired person, we all need more stamina, focus, and as Dave said, it would be nice to be out of pain so we could focus more and get things done, pop out of bed and get right to it. But today's world, we find that people are sicker than they've been in a long time, even with all the modern technology. There never seems to be enough time anymore. And when we don't have our health and we don't have our freedom, our time, we lose our freedom. And I try to help people find their health, time, and freedom back, get their health, time, and freedom back. And there are current solutions. There are holistic remedies, yoga, tai chi, massage, healthy foods. With all of that, that helps slow the aging process. We still have that time over our heads, putting pressure and stress on us to hurry up. We need a revolution in healthcare. And I found in my case, all the things I was doing, something is still missing at this higher pace, faster pace stage of life. And it is light. How does light help? Well, in the beginning, God said, let there be light. And in a moment, quantum physics came along and science and said, yes, we are light. So science and religion both agree. Newton didn't agree. Newton believed that the body was a machine, and if a part broke down, you just took it out. Quantum physics came along and said, we're light, and we'll talk more about the science of quantum physics, how it relates to light in just a minute. But basically, to get a perspective, I see things in three levels: physical healing, energetic healing, and light healing. And we could look at physical healing as, say, the medical system. There's surgery, there's drugs, there's things to take care of the body. Along came the chiropractors, and the doctor said, oh, you can't heal just by cracking somebody's back. And then came the massage therapist, and the chiropractor said, oh, you can't heal someone just by pressing on their muscles. And then energy healers came along, and people said, what? You're not even touching the person? You're healing them from across the world. Reiki, things like that. With each new level of invention or discovery or rediscovery of subtler forms of healing, the old ways got shaken up for a while. And now, relatively recently, light healing has come along. And you are all kind of pioneers because you're here interested in light therapy. So very briefly, I'll tell you how I discovered this light form, and then we'll get into the science. As I said, I've been doing age reversal, or not age reversal, but slowing the aging process over the years with mind techniques, with food techniques, yoga, things like that. Little by little, though, stiffness, slowness would come to me over the years, but I have ways to work on them. Well, last year I turned 70, and I would notice I had to spend time in bed. I had to get my shoulders out of pain. I had to twist my back out of pain. I was spending more hours in the day getting ready for the day rather than living the day. But the kicker for me was one day, it was a hot day. I was wearing shorts. I happened to look at my legs and they looked like prunes. The skin, old man wrinkles. And I said, is this my life from now on? Am I just going to watch myself as Anna was talking about before and Dave was talking about? Am I just going to become a wrinkled prune? Is that my life? And so I said to God, take me when you want me, but if you want me here to do some work, I need to be strong and healthy. And 2 days later, the answer came to me. This little patch is the answer. And I saw my friend, she's 75 at the time. She had fibromyalgia. She couldn't bend. For 40 years, she couldn't do this. And all of a sudden, that day, she ducked under a fence like a little kid. I said, how did you do that? She said, oh, 3 days ago, I started wearing this patch. And it's supposed to make your stem cells grow young again. And I said, you've only been wearing it 3 days and you could duck under a fence after 40 years? And she said, yeah. I said, well, let me try. Give me those patches. So I tried the patches and I've been mostly healthy because I've taken care of myself, but I noticed subtle changes. I noticed I stood up taller. My mind was more calm and less thinking about things that were used to be more stiff. The little pains were going away, more energy. I could drive up from Florida to New York and drive my RV up there and not get stressed out and exhausted. And one day I woke up just like kind of free. And I said, God, you've given me a second chance on life. They say youth is wasted on the young. Well, now with whatever little wisdom I may have, I have a little wisdom and I have my youth energy back more and more. So let's get into the science of this now. Where does this come from? It started with the discovery in the 70s by Dr. Picard, copper peptides, GHKCU. And what he found and was published at the PubMed website is that copper peptides, when they're elevated, they reduce the aging, not just slow the aging, because that's where the stop was. I slowed the aging, but aging at a certain age just starts winning out. And the copper peptides are saying, well, we can actually reverse the age of the cells in the body. There's other types of science, and we'll get more into the real research of the science, but case studies. I looked at the people who really push themselves to the highest levels of mind-body excellence. And you see David Beckham wearing the patches as he plays soccer. Michael Phelps won his gold medals. You see the patches on him. Serena Williams, and most recently, Mike Tyson. And just like Anna had, also we use the thermal photography, and you see that the most pain is due to inflammation, and it goes away significantly in just 5 minutes. And then case studies from people we know. This is one woman. It's not a grandma, mom, and daughter, a granddaughter. She had a double mastectomy. She was on chemo. The doctor says, your body can't take the chemo anymore. There's nothing more we could do for you. Go home. Her friend patched her, and you could see how her hair grew back, her skin grew back. And today I know this person. She's in our group, Marcy, and she's stronger and healthier than ever, and she's disease-free for many years. Another story from children. This little boy, 10 years old, he got his finger cut off in the car door. The parent says, put the finger back on. The doctor says it doesn't work that way. It won't grow back. He put it on. It started to die. They put a patch on the boy, and now you don't even see a scar on his finger. It helps with all kinds of beauty care and weight loss, wrinkles. It helps with hair growth and balding and graying of the hair, reversing. And even with pets, the black-haired dog, you see the cataract in his eye, and the dog on the right, it's the same dog. There's a little patch on his head, no more cataract, and his original fur color came back. And lastly, with the Marine vet, he blew out 7 discs in his back. He was in pain in a wheelchair. He started patching, and a few years later, the cartilage actually grew back in the spine. He's out of pain. He's out of this wheelchair. So why does this work? Let's look at some of the science. As we said, we are light. The thermal cameras show that we are light. The night goggle visions show we're light. And this was the discovery that debunked Newton, that we're not just physical matter. The Heisenberg uncertainty principle came out about 100 years ago and noticed that we are both light and matter. And what that meant was when they looked at the finest particle in the universe, they saw a particle. But when they went out to lunch and just turned it on a machine to monitor it, when they came back, the machine said there's no particle here, there's just a wavelength of light. So at our finest level of particles, finer than that is we are light, or we are a particle. The research on light therapy began to be published on PubMed around the 70s, more for depression, light therapy for depression. More recently, there are things like cold lasers that help you with certain light wave frequencies. So now we're moving into the light specifically. Now, our product, this is David Schmidt, and he's the inventor, the scientist, and the founder of this company. He was always interested in age reversal. Again, not just slowing the process, but reversing our aging process. And there's a thing called gematria, where you take words that are assigned letters, assigned numbers, and when you add them up, there's a code there. So he looked at the words, the tree of life in the Old Testament. It said you live forever. And he took the Hebrew, he took letters, he added them up to a number that he thought looked like a hertz frequency, like a music tone. And he says, I wonder what that would be in a wavelength of light. And when he converted it, the number 630 is one of the wavelengths of light that activates our mitochondria. He's like, wow, that's pretty cool. And now this is a short clip. Dave, can I play this? There's nothing. Okay, here we go. The doctor.
I'm a biophysicist. I've traveled the world looking for maverick wellness products that make a difference in people's lives. And it came to my attention that there was this LifeWave energy patch. The first thing I wanted to do as a biophysicist was to test them on the human energy field. And that is the state of the art now in biophysics, that this field is considered to be the bottom line regulator of our processes. Here's an example of the data. The red indicates points that were tested that are really unbalanced. The yellow are points that are tolerable within normal, but not quite normal. And the green, of course, are the most normal. Some 5 meridians are grossly unbalanced. And after wearing the LifeWave patches, only 1 point is unbalanced. That's an impressive result, especially after immediately placing on the patches.
So this works very much like the sun. The sun shines on our skin. The skin creates vitamin D. We have an inner light called low-level infrared light. And when that light shines on the copper peptides, it was shown that it creates age reversal in the body. And this was years and years even before these light wave patches were developed. And as Anna said, when we're young, all our cells help us recover. By age 30, half of our stem cells are asleep. That's why we're watching the TV and we pull a muscle. How did that happen? And by age 60, the recovery, we bang our arm and there's a bruise and it stays there, or we get a cut, it takes longer to heal. So that's what's so important about our cells. And this is the patent for the X39. I just wanted to read you part of this because to get a patent, they had to approve this wording. And they said that the copper peptides are elevated, they activate the stem cells, improve energy, anti-inflammation, reduction, pain management, stamina, improving collagen and wound healing, and other effects. So we have a patent that a product helps us grow young again. Quickly, the copper peptides help with the skin care, the hair, the lungs. It turns off the genes, 84 of the genes that prevent fast-growing cells like Marcy had. It helps with the nerves, the brain. It helps with antioxidants and activating stem cells. In terms of the product itself, there's well, all the products, there's over 100 research studies, but for X39, at this point on their website, 8 independent studies have shown it helps increase the copper peptides, producing the blood, repairing tissue repair, blood vessel growth, nerve growth, skin. And there are over 100 patents, over 90 clinical studies on all of their patches. You can also go to Google Scholar and type in LifeWave clinical studies. This one on the left is, I'm going to talk more about this one. There's a doctor who actually is a heart doctor, and he's published studies that found with the X39 patch. So what he does is he works with the heart, and there are sometimes pacemakers, and they produce pockets that get infected, and it could become very serious. He has to take out the pacemaker, heal those uh, health issues around the heart that are caused by uh, infections. And I didn't show you the pictures because they're a little bit disturbing to see all of the discolorizations and the holes in the chest and all that. But basically, he found that with the X39, 50% faster wound healing. And when he combined the X39 with some of the other patches, the wound healing was 500% faster. So it's pretty amazing. There's a link to a video there that or you can ask me and I'll give you some links to these areas. And this is some of the things that happen when we're using the X39. The genes begin to be reset. Within 6 weeks, we have our brain balancing develop more balanced. Within 3 months, our college is an increased. And this is pretty interesting. When within 6 months, they find that our biological heart, the biological aging of our heart is decreased. We get younger biologically. And after a year, they say you've gotten 10 years younger. So just to let people know this, that there are wholesale prices, there are 30 and 90-day money back guarantees. So it's a win-win all around. There's case studies, there's research, personal testimonies, and no way to lose. There's nothing in the patch, so there's nothing to cause a side effect. For people who are interested in second incomes or they have clients in the health industry like chiropractors or nurses or pain management people, veterans, anybody who wants, this is a company that you could join part-time, full-time, and we're in 80 countries around the world. I wish all of you, my friends, to live well, to live free, to live longer. And I made a little short AI music video to express for the creatives in the group how this made me feel. I wrote the words and I went to AI and said, can you make me a country music song? And here it is, at just a few seconds. Since I was 71, now I'm feeling fine. Back to working so hard, amen. Just hey, hey, I'm young again. Hey, hey, young again. Okay, thank you, friends. And I'll leave this up for a minute or a second. And you could take a screenshot if you want to look at the website, or if you want to book a session with me, or if you know someone who wants to book a session with me. All right. Okay, and I'll stop sharing. Thank you, Dave. Thank you all.
Yeah, good job. Good job from you. Good job from Anna earlier as well. Uh, I am ready to open up for questions. So, guys with questions, Jav, I need you to participate here too because you're in this health conscious field. But if you have questions for Swami, please go ahead. Maureen, you go first because you're
Yeah.
leaving right now.
Right. I didn't get you splashed the QR code too fast. I just want to
Oh,
take a
sorry.
picture of it.
Okay, absolutely. Let me share the screen here. Here we go.
Okay, I'm taking a few pictures, like a minute. Take a few so that way,
Sure.
yeah, because sometimes one doesn't work.
I'll
Okay, fine. Thank you. It's
Okay.
been very interesting. I'm going to look into all this between
All right.
Anna and you, and because I go to a naturopath and I always
Yes.
run things by her because of the supplements I'm taking. I just want to make sure everything is okay.
Yeah, we have naturopaths who are in this who offer the patches. We have people who wear the patches who go to their naturopaths. So it's a really good point. As I was sort of saying before, but not in so many words, you use it all. This is not a one stop. This is not a magic bullet. Use everything. Have a Asea drinks, have a massage therapist, have naturopath, and grow your cells younger.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Thank you for
All right. Take care. See you on Wednesday. All right. So, any other questions?
Yes.
Go ahead, Jeff.
A few questions. I've been a type 1 diabetic for, say, about 55 years now. Generally good health, look after myself, eat well, and all the other great things that go on with life. I know Anna, I've met her a couple of times. I think she's amazing. But yesterday, I've been studying for an exam that's coming up, and yesterday I took a Redox memory envelope yesterday, and of course it worked. But today I'm having a really bad day. I've never had this today where my blood sugar has like shot right up very, very high. I've taken insulin to bring it down, and it really it's now after 3 hours, it's now starting to come down a little bit, but falling a lot slower than ever before. My question is, do you think it's because I took the redox, I guess, brain, wake up the brain a little bit, took it yesterday and not took a product today?
First of all, that brain, it's not redox. It just it helps the brain to stimulate. And I don't know, did you take a lot of water with that? You have to. So this is very important when we are giving our body something extra. In order to detoxify, you have to make sure that you drink a lot of water. You want that bad cells just to flush out, and it will apply to anything. Even with this one, right? You have to drink a lot of water. But I cannot say we have people with diabetes. But I cannot tell you why your body reacted, and if it is really because of it. I have no idea. I don't want it to
Yeah,
make any.
that requires a doctor, right?
Yeah, I thought I would ask the question.
Mhm.
Yeah, but what it does, it just stimulates the brain function, but this has nothing to do with the redox. This redox is completely different than the other supplements that we have.
And
But
the way I understand is that it drives efficiency in your body, right? So your body already have these cells. The redox is just a small particle that's going to come in there and repair the cells, and then your cells is going to do the work that it should be doing.
Right. But you do need a lot of water because your body will detoxify. Just imagine when you're looking at the aquarium, right? The water it's clean, the fish it's swimming. But put your hand into the aquarium and all this gunk will start to come up until it settled down. So it's exactly the same with our body. Our body wants to get rid of something that it's not supposed to be. No bad cells supposed to be. Our body's supposed to detoxify and clean itself by itself. But the Redox just gives help. And you know what, Swami, I'm really happy that you're using it, and so am I, but we are the same age, and what it gives us the ability to look younger and feel younger, using absolutely a little bit different approach, but it's still stem cells. And
Wow.
I did turn 70 last year.
Wow. Two 70-year-olds in the room. Any additional backup questions on that, Jeff? No?
Jeff, you
I have one other, if no one else wants to go.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next person. Anybody else with questions? Or
Yes,
I
I
got,
have.
oh, sorry, go
Okay,
ahead.
don't worry. I have a question for Swami. Sorry, for me, it was difficult to understand how was the patches because I don't know what kind of materials that patches have or how works in the body. Because for me, it's a little difficult to understand how can improve your health only using
a
like
patch.
a
Mhm.
patch. Yes, it's only.
Unmute, Swami.
Yeah, it looks like a Band-Aid, and it's a great question. What's going on here? So it is called it scientifically non-transdermal. Nothing is in the patch that goes in your body. There's no drug, there's no herb, there's no vitamin. Think of it more like a mirror. Our body has inner light, infrared light, like heat. It's always escaping. And so I have one right there, right now. As it escapes, it hits the mirror. It's a lattice. It's just sugar water and amino acids to create a little lattice. And the lattice pattern, the inventor figured out how to direct the light back to the copper peptides, GHKCU. So really all we're doing is we're capturing, it's like recycling. We're capturing our inner light and directing it back to, say, go to the copper peptide, elevate the copper peptide, and then the age reversal begins. So what happens is as the stem cells, the master cells wake up, they're what's called pluripotent. They can turn into any cell in the body. So they say which cell in the body which is the highest priority to heal. Is it a heart cell? Is it an eye cell? Is it whatever cell? It'll turn into those young, healthy cells will now turn into the cells that need healing and bring youth and regeneration, detoxification, and healing to that. So it'll heal any cell in the body, but whatever is needed first, it goes there first. Does that answer your question?
Or do you have a follow-up question on that, Katrine? Buzz? No?
No, I was thinking because I remember when I have kidney disease, naturopath put me mirrors inside mirrors on my body to help my body to recover me for that reason that makes sense for me because yes, maybe it's a other kind of technology, but then I remember my naturopath only put mirrors on my body, and that's it. I had to meditate a couple of hours. I don't remember, but now maybe this is a different technology. I know it's a little difficult to understand in the first time, but maybe it can work. So this is so interesting. Thank you so much, Mommy.
Thank you. Great question, Carrie.
Awesome. Let's move to Joe.
I think Swami just answered the question because I kind of didn't understand how the patch works. And actually, I was going to ask, like, I mean, you're in Florida, so I mean, you always have sunlight around you, right? But
Right.
here in Toronto,
Good point.
it's constantly, you know,
Right.
it's not as sunny as it is down south, right? So
Right.
is it less effective in like the northern hemisphere as compared to
No,
south?
yeah, this is a great question. It's not the sunlight. I was using it only as an analogy that when the sun shines, it produces vitamin C in our body. But even in the dark, because some people will wear a patch at night, it's our body already has inner light. It's called low-level infrared light. So just think we have our own inner sunlight. It has nothing to do with the outer sunlight.
Mhm.
And this is just like recycling. As it starts to escape, it says, "Oh, go back in there and help the copper peptide out."
Hmm. Okay.
Now up there, you probably want to do something extra to get your vitamin D. Go to SAD light or the cold lasers to or take vitamin D supplements. You do want to make sure that your body has enough vitamin D,
Hmm.
and that'll make the patches work better.
Yeah, I see. I know that I take, and then just checking to see if I have it here. Yeah, I normally take Centrum. That's what I use. Like, so I don't know if the vitamin D is actually in here as well. I just looked at the side of the bottle. So,
Yeah.
I do get some sort of vitamin D that way. And in the sun, in the winter, I make sure that I always walk outside during the day. Like I try to
Yeah,
get the sunlight wherever I can.
it's great. Yeah.
Mhm.
Exercise, good eating. It's not like saying, well, now that I'm wearing the patch, I can go eat junk food and not care about it. It's not a good deal.
Junk food make you turn into a junk. You are what you eat. All right. So, Jav, we haven't heard from you yet.
Thank you for the presentation, Anna and Swami. Very interesting. At the same time, I was wondering about the effect on chronic disease, such as lupus.
Lupus, you
So,
said?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, everything. I could actually search for some testimonials. If you send me your address, I could email you some video testimonials if I find them. But what happens is everything in the body, any kind of disease, it starts from the cells not working properly or just the recovery process not happening. And so if that's the priority, which it sounds like it would be, then the cells would go to that area that's causing lupus and putting healthy cells there and replacing the ones that are not working. So I would have to do more research to give you a more intelligent answer, but I can look for some testimonials for you.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. I'll send you my address email. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So, any other questions? Well, let's do this. Let's stop the recording.